friends. This is Kelly Calabrese, and today I'm here with Dr. Sammie Crosby in Oklahoma. Thank you for being here, Dr. Sammie.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm excited about this. You're with Crosby Equine Services out in Oklahoma. Tell us a little bit about what you do out there at your practice.
Basically, at this point in time, my practice has evolved into lameness and performance issues. We're equine strictly anymore. I started out like I think most of us do. I started out doing small animal racetrack. I pretty much didn't say no. So I've done quite a bit of zoo work. I've done a lot of small animal work. I always gravitated towards horses, and it ended up I sold all my small animal practice and went straight equine on the racetrack for quite a few years. And then I evolved from the racetrack into sport horses. Basically, in our area, we have a lot of rodeo horses, roping, barrel racing, pretty much ranching, you name it, sorting, cutting horses. Oklahoma has a tremendous range of different equine activities. And every time I think I've worked on all of them, I end up getting into another one. And
That's exciting.
they're all education for me.
Absolutely. What great seasons of your career as it has evolved. That's very exciting. Well, we're thankful for what you're doing out there. So tell us, how did you hear about Renovo?
Renovo was presented to me by Oak Ridge Equine Hospital in Edmond. They're 15 minutes down the road from me, and I refer most of my surgeries there. They were using Renovo and spoke very highly of it. And a couple of my cases that I had going here, they used it on them, and then I got to do the follow-up. I think the first time I actually got to use Renovo was on a sore back on a barrel horse. And we ended up talking to Ginger Johnson from Renovo about the back. The owner wanted to do trigger point injections, which I do quite a bit of. And she wanted to try Renovo on the trigger point injection. Well, we talked about it. And of course, that's kind of an unknown territory. We don't know where it's going. But Renovo gracefully agreed to let us try it. And they gave us the medication to do it. And we did. Trigger point injections using Renovo, gave the horse 30 days off. And I was very impressed with the results. So at that point, I started using it in joints and tendons, and I've used it in quite a few applications actually, and I've been favorably impressed with all of them.
Wow. Well, that is impressive, and we appreciate that. Can you give us maybe a specific example that was extra impressive to you?
I think the back was a very impressive example, and I thought that would be hard to beat. But I actually had a horse show up here November, December last year. Had a very active bone lesions in the knee, in the carpus. Basically, when you're looking at it, I had a lot of activity in the bone. I had a lot of activity going in the joint. The horse was very sore, and he flexed really bad, and he trotted off really bad as well. And it looked pretty bad. And the lady asked me to do whatever I could do. Now, previous to using Renovo, I would have stuck with steroids and high visc and some other things, and I don't think I would have been successful. But in this particular instance, we injected those joints with 2 carpus on the left side with Renovo. I used a little osphos as well for the bone activity, and we put the horse on Adequan. All of that being said, you would think, well, I shotgunned it, but without a doubt, in my mind, the Renovo was the one that did the deal. I have since had several horses that I've tried to go a cheaper route using the same, everything the same except Renovo. And those didn't work out nearly as well as this one did. But this lady came back in 30 days and wanted to take an x-ray. And I told her, I said, I think we're a little bit early yet. Although the horse was walking much better, was less sore, the flexion went a lot better. I said, I think we've got a lot of progress here, but I said, I think we're too early to be taking more x-rays. She wanted more x-rays, so I took more x-rays. And I tell you what, comparing the two x-rays, the second x-ray it didn't even look like the same joint. We were missing a lot of the changes that had been present in the first one. And the joint was more normal looking. The horse was way more comfortable. It was a very dramatic. It was even more dramatic than the back. So that would be my primary case that I'd have to point to.
Wow. Well, that is impressive. About how many horses have you used Renovo with?
Well, I actually did 3 today.
Wow.
Yeah, I went through about almost everything I had today. Did not anticipate that. I went on my first farm call and they said they might want to do 1. I took enough for 2, and they actually had 3 to do, but I had enough for 2, came back to the office and had another one show up at the office, and we did it. And so, counting today, my goodness, I think I've done upwards 20, 30 head of horses, something like that.
Wow. Well, we're happy to ship you more.
Oh, I'll be calling. I promise you. I'm a big supporter. I tell everybody. I said, my thing is, I've seen a lot of products that increase the price, but I haven't seen a lot of products that increase the price yet deliver on what they're promising. And this product has delivered every time on what it's promised. I mean, I've seen tremendous strides forward in ophthalmic application, wounds, any kind of joint application. I've put it in suspensories. I've been very excited by what I see. I'm more excited about this than pretty much any medication that I've used in the past.
Wow. One of our hashtags that we use is think Renovo first, because we know people do have a lot of options and they're used to certain protocols and compounding different things for therapy. But with what you've seen and knowing what you now know, would you consider Renovo for a first line of defense before maybe some of the other things you've used in the past?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if my clients have the financial wherewithal and that's what they want to do, we talk about it first all the time. I've had several of them that we've done. We've switched from our normal, I don't like to say this, but I mean, there are people that want to put your hocks and your stifles on a regular basis. I'm not a big fan of that. So I'll usually go over them and see if I can find some pain and see if there's a reason. So you'll get those kind of people that come in and say, well, it's time to do his hocks. And I always say, no, let's look and see if it's time to do their hocks, and let's look and see what it actually is. And for those people, I've had people that switched off of regular injections and now we're doing Renovo first.
Wow.
And they're doing it as a preventative rather than a second ditch effort, So I think that we're starting to see a lot of that.
That's interesting. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So, for the veterinarians who have not yet heard of or might be skeptical or haven't tried it yet, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd say absolutely try it. You'll not go back. I promise you. I'm a huge supporter. It's one of the best medications I've seen come along in a long time.
Wow. Well, that says a lot coming from you with all your experience and your great reputation out there in Oklahoma. So again, we appreciate everything you're doing and your support of Renovo, and we look forward to hearing more success stories in the future.
Thank you. I thank you for letting me talk to you.
Oh, we're happy to do it. Thanks so much. Have a great day.